So we're having a look for chat at MDIA. We can see that it's got a lot of volume. We can see that that's kind of unusual, that it's happening every so often. It's showing up on the chart. Why is that happening also very regular? Like, I wonder. This is my first look at this. So then, how does that look there? That looks as you would expect. That's been very, very busy. It's got above there. That's unusual. It's got very, very high. Okay, well, what's it got here then? That's nothing amazing. The 4 hour. I don't know how long this thing's been around. This gap up here, is it filled its gap? It has. Well done. Congratulations. Filled its gap. Well, they always do, don't they, right? There's the, if you ever wanted to, if you ever wanted a little bit of light relief about buying and holding, there you have it. This thing filled the gap it's had since, when was that? The day it launched in February. Well, it was only 2020, so it's not that long ago, but I bet you it felt like a lifetime ago to the people who hit buy at that point and have since been underwater. They looked away from their computer at that day and saw the prices had dropped. How much? Sorry, this isn't funny. Yeah, 50%. Okay. It's kind of annoying. I imagine some of them, if they believed in this thing, will have re-entered. What are people saying in chat about this? Is there some information to add to this here? Viewers, did Jamie ever do picks? I didn't, D Harker, but I'll get into that one next. I certainly will do in 2 seconds, D. Just looking at this one at the minute here and having a little bit of a laugh about things. So I'm supposed to make a clip of this for people who are interested in trading it. Yeah, so if you just bought it there, right, consider the people who bought it in February 2020, January 2020, who until today have been underwater. And do you want to be like them, or would you rather enter at support rather than resistance? And shucks, shit, this could go on a bit, right? And if it does, like, let's look at that, where that is. It's breaking that area. It was really important. That was the gap fill. That's what that yellow line is. But that doesn't mean much. What you want to do is break above there, right? Above 11.19, at which point then you're in a blue sky breakout. At the minute, you're just filling a gap. As dramatic as it looks on a chart, and as much as it is in terms of a price increase, which it is significant. Let's look at it. And why not? We use this measuring stick once. Let's look at it again from the bottom of that move. You managed to get a good, what's that, 250%. I pay some bills. And then some. 250%. So a lot of people who traded this, the volume came in here, right? This volume, what point of that candle was it? Let's take it down a little bit on 15 minutes, and you can see that a lot of this apparent sell volume, which isn't really, is all passed off. Presumably that's all being passed off to 1 or 2 people. Certainly it's all going in at that level of support, right, which is significant when prices broke above and then retested this area, which is your breakdown point from there ages ago, where you retested it here and you broke above it and then you retested it. That's such a good place to buy. And somebody, it was probably 1 or 2 people, or at least big counts anyway. I've got all that liquidity there on that retest. Now it looks like it's red, right? So your volume looks like bad, but if you've not seen me before, you'll know that I think that that's is like the height of stupidity, having these different colors. And it's actually a mistake that it's been put in red and green. It should just be white, because it doesn't mean anything, right? And it can completely mean the opposite of what it actually is doing. So anyway, this is accumulation, right? So that candle's stupid calling it red. And then prices went up. Those people who bought that made a lot of money. Then you've got a lot of other candles here. You've got a lot of activity. So a lot of them took profits there, perhaps off the same people who panicked out, panicked in again, and now they might be in a big trouble. Who knows? Let's see how things go. You'd like to see prices break above that area. If not, you're looking for retests of significant levels again. Now, if it comes back down out of that gap, because it fell so much, there's few areas to look to. This is one of them though, and a very bullish scenario that would be all you'd get, but it's more likely it comes down to either this level or the level below. Now that's just the horizontal levels, and we can check out a couple of different things with some Fibonacci's. And we're on the 15 minutes. Doesn't make a difference to these levels, but it does make a difference a little bit. So it's overall Fibonacci from its ultimate high to its ultimate low. 618 and around here, so you could just say move that up to there. That's your level. Where you, if it got to, you'd probably see a lot of buys. Right now, that's quite far down there at $6 something change. Above that, sure. Right, these are your targets, but that's not all that interesting. That's your overall Fibonacci. It's kind of dictated price moves for a little bit, right? 236 in around here, that was important, as you can see, and you broke through it, messed around a wee bit, broke down below it. Like that's what caused this Fibonacci to be the where it was mostly this activity here. Despite the ecocentric people, they would think it was all them up here. Anyway, these retests, a bit of degree of bullishness there. Lower, not as low. I can see, again, up here, quite good. Right, thanks very much. Somebody joined Chimp. Abdisarian. Abe Sidarian. Abe's Adarian? Is that right? I don't know. I've never met anyone called Abe's Adarian before. So thank you. Nice to meet your acquaintance, fellow apes. Ape. Big welcome to Abe's Adarian in chat. Thank you very much. Welcome to the family, mate. This is the best way. It's a really helpful sports channel. Loads. Thanks so much. Right, so that's what we're looking at there. And we drew a Fibonacci on there. And now we're going to look at this Fibonacci and we're going to say, well, from this low here to this high where we got to, you want to stay above the 236, and then you can move your other line. Let's move that up. There's your 236 because they were close enough, right? And they're both zones anyway. So if you're talking bullishly, you want to know you're getting the trade 771. Let's call it all the sevens. It's also 7.69. That's where it actually is. So let's call it what it is, right? Because that's such a nice number, 7.69. And there's your first most bullish area to enter. It's 917 at the minute. Is that far away? You know, maybe it is, but like that's what the chart's telling you. So there's those two Fibonacci's. That's what you're looking at. The targets on the first one are quite high, right? You're looking at maybe $21 or $29.93. And on any sort of pump craziness, like that's where I would be aiming for. That's where my profit targets would be on this, on craziness, right? Now you've already had, 250% move. And my crazy land, that is craziness, and you've got it already. So, right, do you want to invest in this long term, or are you looking to make a move? Because that's where most of it was. Now you're not just buying it anywhere. Now you're looking for good entries, and those are those ones I've outlined. And here's still where you're looking at on the top side. And if you break through here, truth, it's like blue sky breakout territory, right? If there's like news catalyst alongside it, you might be comparing this to other competitors and be thinking, well, what's their market cap and what's their addressable market, and then you start looking at value ratios. You might think, hey, this has got a bit to go, and I don't know what the fair value of this thing is, and I don't know what the news related to it is, but I can tell you that somebody does. This volume is one person. These entries are one person. This person causing this knows exactly what they're doing, and the volume says that they haven't got out of that trade yet. So despite the fact that price may go to different levels, somebody's pushing this around. And the only thing that causes me to caution that confidence that I take from that is that it's only just closed this gap that it has from February 2020, January 2020 when it first started. So bearing that in mind, is this a stock operator? Have they checked out? And if not, then maybe it's insiders/investors, like key investors, and they know what's going on. And if so, who knows, right? Or is it just huge pump and dump? You tell me. This is the story with Mdia Ta. So that's a clip. And if you enjoyed that and you haven't heard of me before, I'm Jamie. This is Tradespotting. I focus mostly on GME, but I cover everything, right? Because anyone asks, I'll have a look at it. Thanks. See you sometime on a live stream, which is what this was, a clip from. Oh, look, I can play this song again. Play the short one. On the Prices Right. Say songs, more of a jingle.